The atmosphere on Clemson's campus the past few weeks has been that of change. On April 13th, students initiated a peaceful sit-in protest on the steps of Sykes Hall, one of the administrative buildings on campus. The protest, commonly referred to as the Sykes Sit-In, arose in response to the defacing of a sign in front of Fort Hill that commemorated the African American history there with that of a bushel of bananas. Offended by the racist undertones of the incident, some students on Clemson's campus were reminded of the very real problems the administration has been reluctant to address in the past, such as the renaming of Tillman Hall and the 2014 December Christmas party, to name a few. Protesters were so committed they decided to camp out and remain outside of Sykes Hall until their demands from January of 2015 were at least addressed by administration. While some have misunderstood this movement as something that came out of nowhere, others realized that it was only a matter of time before students took this into their own hands. Senior Elliot Bean shared her frustration with me on the 8th day of the protest.
So a big thing for me is being a senior, this has at least been 3 years in the making. This is not something that happened just in a week just because of bananas or a couple racist incidents. This is something that I've seen coming for a long time now.
Almost immediately, protesters were met with a tremendous amount of support from the community. Students, staff, faculty, and even those not directly affiliated with the university continuously brought in donations of food, drinks, toiletries, blankets, blow-up mattresses, you name it. Assistant Professor Bart Kneinenberg was one of the many faculty members that showed support to the students and protesters by donating and spending time on the steps of Psych while also sharing their frustration.
And then they had to sit in, and I was like, that's a great idea. So I actually messaged my wife, and I was like, you know what, we should bring them some stuff, some food for the night. So we did that too. We went to Bilo, we bought some food, we brought it here. So I thought everything was going all right. And then the next day, basically the students were told to leave at 5:30, and they were told that they would be arrested if they wouldn't leave. And I was like, wait a minute, these students are going through part of their educational experience. They're standing up for something they believe in. They're sick of things not happening. So why are you arresting them? And indeed, 5 students got arrested, and I was kind of upset about that.
I also had the opportunity to sit down and chat with freshman Christina Simpson, who has been part of the Psych sit-in since day one. She joined both Bean and Kneinenberg in their frustrations, this time in regards to the treatment of how administration has dealt with who local news media has been referring to as the Clemson Five, the group of 5 students who were arrested on the second day of the protest for remaining in the building after hours.
Well, like the Clemson Five who were in there, they had a conversation with them the other day, and they said they felt very disrespected. They felt that eyes were being rolled at them, crossing of the arms, hostile tones, so it wasn't good.
Despite resistance from the administration, protesters stayed outside of Sykes Hall, which they renamed the new Political and Multicultural Center, for 9 days before suspending the sit-in until further notice. Closely affiliated with the See the Stripes campaign that advocates for racial equality on campus, a statement was made on their website, cstripescu.org, in regards to the suspension. It notes that while the sit-in may be suspended, they feel as though the front of the Sykes Hall should remain Clemson's Political and Multicultural Center until the university creates the space for them somewhere else. Several students have made it clear that their time spent here at the Political and Multicultural Center was the first time they truly felt part of the Clemson family. The Psych sit-in has brought on a new sense of unity across Clemson's campus. Despite the temporary suspension, protesters have announced that if they don't see the university stepping up to make the changes they've demanded, the sit-in shall resume on August 17, 2016. With the semester wrapping up, administration will have the rest of the summer to tackle this issue. From Clemson University, Aubriana Gonzalez, Clemson News Now.